All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've seen the new Rodney Mullens episode on Hawk versus Wolf, but I recently watched this the other day. It's an hour and 20 minutes long, so it's fairly long, but really just dense with a lot of really good wisdom from Rodney. Hawk and Ellis obviously sharing some insights as well, but really I just love the way Rodney Mullens can tell a story, and the way he says things just resonates so well with not only me but with a lot of people. I really find it just fascinating. I love the way he can explain his emotions throughout whatever's going on. He can explain the emotions behind whatever action he's performing or whatever mental stressor he's dealing with. He can really get to the root of it and figure it out, iron it out. I love that. I love that about Rodney. And this little bit here that we're gonna watch really stuck out to me. It kind of touches on comparing yourself to others and how that can really be a hindrance on you and your own personal growth, be it with skateboarding, your job, education, your faith, whatever it might be. Comparing yourself to others is something that we all tend to do. I hate to say it's human nature, but it kind of is, and it's something that we really need to get rid of. I don't think there's a lot of growth potential within constantly comparing yourself to other people and feeling like you just can't reach that mark that you've set in your head, and how silly that can be. So I'm gonna let the clip play, and then I'll go ahead and pause it at some parts so I can talk about how that's resonating with me and what I'm feeling while watching it.
Anybody? And then Mike T died, and then secondhand smoke, and I remember like when it ended and it was like a weird phase. I was trying to play catch up, learning crooked grinds, skating with Jeremy Ray, like ollie and little eight stairs, kickflip, something like great. This is going nowhere for me, and I feel like I'm always trying to learn what everyone else is doing, and I'm grateful for the education, but I'm not doing anything that matters. Like I'm not.
Pause right there. Okay, so that is something I can relate to wholeheartedly, feeling like the things I can do don't matter. I see my friends doing these other things, skating stairs, skating handrails, doing these cool tech tricks, skating the bowls, doing these big frontside airs. I see all this stuff going on in my own life. This is me growing up. Especially throughout college, I really was bad about comparing myself to others, and honestly, it got me nowhere. It, I think, pushed me deeper into a sort of self-loathing mindset where I felt like nothing I did was good enough, and that just demotivated me to skate at all. And surprise or no surprise, that's when my drinking was the heaviest. Since then, I don't drink. I haven't drank for years now, but that's when I was leaning heavily into alcohol, into marijuana, into other substances that really kind of got my mind out of those dark places, or so I thought, when in reality it was just masking them. And then they'd come up later on, and what would I do? Oh, go back to the bottle. Go buy some weed, whatever it was. I'd have to go self-medicate, and that's not cool. That never worked. I learned the hard way that does not work. Let's go on and listen a little bit more about what he says in regards to him comparing himself to others and feeling like he just never amounted to much.
Doing anything. And it wasn't until Mark Johnson, I went skating with him, and I was messing around with something, and he's like, Rod, you don't have anything to prove. You don't have any, why don't you stop trying to like take advice or learn whatever? Just, you know enough, just do what you want to do with the things you have. And so I will tell you that what I was filming for Plan B, and then that breakup, I ended up coming out for Globe.
Wow. Mark Johnson put that really well. Why don't you do the things you know how to do with what you have? I think we all fall into that. I definitely fell into that, trying to do these things that wasn't comfortable for me, trying to learn bowls, trying to skate rails, skating big stairs. Honestly, that stuff just led to me getting hurt. Constantly comparing myself, trying to stack up to what I saw my friends doing, not realizing that we all have our own special gifts within skateboarding, within whatever it is we're doing. We all bring something different. Find what you're good at and just nose to the grindstone. Keep at it. See what you can do. Mark Johnson saw that Rodney has this innate ability to understand a skateboard, the physics. He has the scientific brain. I don't know what sort of OCD or whatever kind of brain thing Rodney has going on. He has something going on up here that is different than any of us. It was obviously different than Mark Johnson. It's different than Tony. It's different than Jason. It's different. Mark Johnson saw that and he told him, stop trying to measure up to be something that you're not. You're great the way you are. Keep doing what you're doing and you're going to achieve greatness. And he did. I'm going to let this play out a little bit more.
This video?
Oh yeah.
To this day, like, that's still kind of my favorite part. That was where I give credit to Mark Johnson, because I needed to hear. That's why I said it, you like everything you need to hear has already been said by somebody, but you need that's Aristotle, right? But rhetoric,
right?
But
yeah, sure.
But you just need to hear it from someone that means somebody to you, so you finally listen. And that was MJ for me. But that's what made my skating like my kind of that's what made the transition for me.
But it also seems like that time where you were in a way.
Pause. Okay, so right there he said something that I really like. He said it's an Aristotle quote. I'll have to look that up to verify. I'm sure it is. I don't know. I can't quote much Aristotle off the top of my head, but he said, everything you need to hear has already been said by someone else. But what matters is hearing it from someone that matters to you. So you can hear all this stuff that matters from a lot of people that you really don't put much stock into, but hearing the right things from the right people, that's when it really gets in your head and will finally hit home. And for him, that person was Mark Johnson. Must have been the fact that they were always skating together. I'm sure they have a deep-rooted friendship. They're able to speak to each other on various things. I'm sure they've had a lot of philosophical debates in the past, and maybe they've really just found each other's wavelengths and they connected. So at that point in time, hearing that from Mark Johnson was what he needed to hear. And I love that. I've definitely had people like that in my life that have told me things, complimented my skateboarding, whatever it may be, or just people every day that maybe saw my YouTube video. They'll see me out in the street and say, hey, I saw your video, that was really good. And I'll hear it, and a lot of the times because I don't have any past with them, I don't really know this person, or maybe I've only met them in passing, I'll hear it and I'll just be, oh, hey, thanks a lot, I appreciate it. But in reality, it doesn't really penetrate my little ego. A part of me wants to dismiss whatever they say because, oh, that's no one important, their opinion doesn't matter. But really, it shouldn't be like that. We should be able to take these compliments, take these words of encouragement, this praise, and use it to build ourselves up a little bit. Not to be prideful or egotistical, but to just use it, build on that. I think that's something we could all stand to work on. I'm gonna let this play a little bit more.
I don't want to say following, but like, you know, trying to do what all the other guys were doing. That is road work, so that when you started to split off and do your own thing on these different obstacles, you had that hard time part where you were putting in all that road work, trying to do what Jeremy Ray was and all those other guys. So it came together more solid, because when you start doing those dark slides, you could have done those in a way where I would have been like, nah, you know what I mean? When you did them, I was like, oh shit. Like,
even that's though they look super bow-legged?
You would just, no, you would know the way you slid. It was like incredible amount of distance, enough speed where I was like, that's the same as anybody else's stuff.
Right,
like,
okay, pause right there. So what Ellis is saying there is that the fact that he did spend time trying to do those things that he wasn't that comfortable with, the things that really weren't him being true to himself, trying to jump downstairs, skate rails, whatever, do these things that weren't really true to him, that acted as the groundwork, sort of the foundation to show that, okay, you can excel at these things, maybe not at the same rate. You can flip a board 720 and do a double underflip or something like that, but you can excel at those things. So the fact that you know that now, you should be able to use that going forward to know, like, okay, it's not that I'm lacking at those things, it's just that those things aren't really what I love. I can do those things, I can play around and do these weird other things, but what's true to me is the stuff that I'm doing, the stuff that my heart's really in. I love that. That's amazing. All right, I'm gonna let this play a little more.
it was legit.
Yeah, there's a core street skater confidence that shines through there, for sure.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, like there was no You weren't sliding half as far as it. It was just as far as anyone else. Same speed, same approach. Coming off, landing just as clean. Like it was not. That was the bit that, because I didn't see any progression. I saw you when you perfected it. So it was just like I'm watching a video and I'm like, I'm a vert dude. Like it was pretty hard for me to give a crap about anybody's street part. Like I was the opposite of most skateboarders, but those ones were like.
I feel that watching pool videos.
Yeah.
There was several ones of those like that I wouldn't have thought that I would care about. But
I mean, it'd be a different story if you landed so slow that you started doing 360s.
Yeah.
On your run.
Yeah, that wouldn't have flown.
That's our inside joke.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's an 80s freestyler joke, inside joke here.
It's not too late for that one, man.
All right, pause. Okay, I paused the video there. That's basically the end of Rodney's little rant story time there. But basically, to reiterate some of the stuff he said, he was saying that a lot of the time around when that Trans World video came out, he found himself comparing himself to other guys on the team that were doing different things, and he felt like he needed to be able to do those same things at a same level or greater level to feel worthy of being involved, to feel worthy of being in the video. Earlier he talked about how when his part played, it didn't get a lot of attention, and that really probably hurt him quite a bit. I can relate to that, how like something you work really hard at, maybe something you've been spending hours on, a painting or something, you spend days on it, weeks on it, you finish it, and you don't get so much as a like on Instagram. It's a silly comparison, but I think it really kind of can sum up that same feeling. He felt like he wasn't measuring up because of the guys on the team with him. They were all so good at these other things. And he felt like he wasn't worth it because he couldn't do those things. And then he hears from his friend, hey, you know what? You don't need to be trying to do all that other stuff. You're great the way you are. The tricks you do now are incredible. Keep at those. They're going to be even better. In the future, you're going to be insane. People are going to be talking about you. Maybe he didn't use these same words, but Mark Johnson sat him down and told him, what you're doing is awesome. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Do you, put in the work, nose to the grindstone. You're going to be incredible. And today we see that. He's back at it. He's back from his injuries. He's now skating. He said this was like 10th day in a row skating. Probably nighttime or early morning for him. He's a night skater. And it's just incredible. So wholesome, so heartwarming for me to see this, to see how much heart and soul he has put into skateboarding and how he expects nothing in return. I love that. He is a man of true integrity, a man of true grit, just incredible individual. I hope I can meet him someday. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Please go watch the full Rodney Mullen episode. I'll link that in the description. I hope this video brought you some joy. God bless. I hope you have a wonderful day.